evil life form from the future has came back once again, and he is back for some vengeance, and he is hella freaking strong. This deck I made is really good. I've actually beat quite a bit of meta decks. So here is the cell. The reason I'm making this deck is because, you know, I got super hype because I pulled the LR Gohan and the LR Cell. So because of that, I wanted to make a deck profile, and here is the Cell deck, which is very strong, believe it or not, guys. So we got Cell right here. What Cell does is he has an activate main ability. You get to get one card from your hand, put it under this guy, so you get to just put it right under him, and he gets to KO a battle card that's 3 cost or less on the field. The reason this ability is good is because the way we're gonna self-awaken is by, you know, playing 1-drops, and sometimes people play that Zen-Oh Goku that prevents 1-drops from doing anything. So this guy just gets straight rid of that, and then your deck starts taking off. So that is that ability. Unfortunately, he does not draw, he does not do anything else. He just pops 3 cost or less, which is very good for board removal early game anyways. Then at 4 lives or less, you're able to draw 2 cards, and you go from this, you know, evil ugly Cell to boom, human looking Cell, evil life form Cell. And this Cell is insane. This Cell is a very powerful leader, and the reason he's so strong is because he has 2 activate main abilities. One activate main ability is you get to get 1 card from your hand, put it under it just like his unawakened form, and you draw 2 cards. So this guy has drawing ammunition. Bam. It's full draws. And then on top of that, he has another activate main. You get to detach 2 cards that are under this card to automatically blow up, Hadouken any card on your opponent's side of the field. And that ability is so darn good because this leader not only has draw capabilities, like drawing capabilities, he also has, you know, board control capabilities to remove any threat that's on your opponent's side of the field. So that is the leader. All right, so our leader suffers from drawing early game, so because of that we are running for Cheelai. Early game, you play it for 1 energy, draw a card, and she has a activate main ability on top of the drawing every time you play one. Activate main for 2 energies, 1 green and the other one doesn't matter. You get to search your deck and play a Frieza's army member that happens to be 2 cost or less, and our leader suffers from awakening, so I have her to not only draw but play us this Frieza's army, Frieza himself. And the reason I have this card is because he is going to be our main way to awaken. What you do is for 1 energy, he comes out onto the field, you pick up a life. That's pretty much it. And the reason I like him so much is because you can play him, pick up a life, and not attack, meaning your opponent's going to be forced to attack your leader instead of a battle card. Like other ways of awakening, you usually have to attack with a 1-drop and pick up a life, and then your opponent decides to attack the card that's in rest mode instead of attacking your leader. With this guy, you leave your leader, you pretty much force your opponent to attack your leader instead of attacking your battle cards. And then keeping it Frieza themed, we added this Surprise Attack Frieza. You know, the reason this Surprise Attack Frieza is so good in this deck is because our leader has the ability to KO any battle card. So when you KO something, boom, you got a free body on board, which is a critical. And this guy is really good late game. Ideally, I toss him out as energy early game. That's why we only have 2, so hopefully you draw it late game. And then after that, we got Broly right here. So this is the bridge. Those were our green cards. Now we're gonna bridge onto the red cards because this is one of those new dual color decks, because you know dual colors is the rage right now in Dragon Ball. So this is a dual color card. Pretty much the reason I have them here is to, you know, have a dual color energy, and if you already have another card that's dual color in your energy zone, this guy goes onto the energy zone in active mode, not in rest mode like every other dual color card. And he also makes your opponent discard a card if you really want to use that ability, but mostly for energy because this is our red engine that we have. So this is an Intensifying Power Trunks. This is one of the other pieces to awaken, but not our main piece to awaken. Frieza's our main piece to awaken, but pretty much when he attacks, you pick up a life, he becomes a 15k crit, which is very useful, you know, to self-awaken. I usually play him at 5 lives, and then after that, we have you know, our evolved target. This guy evolves on top of a GT Trunks, and that one drop that you guys just saw is a GT Trunks. So for 2 energies, this guy comes out onto the field. He's a 20k. He can attack active mode cards, and on top of that, when he comes out onto the field, you're able to play a battle card from your hand that's 15k or less. And for that reason, we have the mother of all mothers of the universes. We got Zen-Oh right here, and yes, Zen-Oh is the main point of this deck. That's why I am running 4. And some of you guys are like, why would you run 4? It's kind of cloggy. Not with this leader, since our leader allows us to, you know, get a card from our hand and put it under it, pretty much getting rid of a card and drawing 2 or blowing up something. This is the reason I'm running 4. You want to see this card, and on top of that, if you do see this card, too many of them, just put it under cell and then start drawing and start blowing things up. And this guy resets the field, forcing your opponent to get their field and their hand, shuffle into the deck, and then they both draw 5 cards, you and your opponent. So that card changes the whole like tempo of the game, because then your leader is gonna have board removal and drawing capabilities because he draws you 2, and then you're gonna take control of the game. So then after that, we have this Burst Attack Son Gohan. The reason I have Burst Attack Son Gohan in here is because what this guy does is when he attacks, you're able to draw 2 cards if you have 4 cards or less in your hand. So after you chain attack Zen-Oh, what I like to do is I like to play this card. He draws you cards, he keeps the pressure, and he doesn't give your opponent hand because he has critical. So we have 3 of those. That card is very, very strong, and you could also chain attack Zen-Oh with him. And then, you know, to finish the job late game, you have Saiyan Cabba. Or I like to, you know, self-awaken myself when I'm at 5 lives. I like to attack with this guy. I only play the 1-drops that attack and pick up a life at 5 lives ideally, or when I have like 2 of them in hand and I know I could self-awaken that turn. So this guy gains 10k boost power, making him a 15k double strike to, you know, pressure your opponent and then chain attack Zen-Oh, obviously. And then after you chain attack Zen-Oh, you play Hit. You know what Hit does is he sees the hand. Once you see the hand, after you chain attack Zen-Oh, they have 5 cards in hand. You play this guy, they'll have 3 cards in hand, and then you know exactly how much you need a combo to finish off your opponent. So that guy warps 2 out of your opponent's hand once you play it. And then more dual color cards. You really want to mulligan hard for a dual color card, and then start playing the Broly, so you could go either way. You know what? You want versatility when it comes to your energy game. So this guy is a dual color card. He counts as green and red in your energy zone, and he has a rival. If you have a red and green in the combo area for 1 red energy, he just comes out onto the field after you chain attack Zen-Oh. This guy's gonna blow something up, and then combine that with your leader. You're gonna completely wipe the board on whatever your opponent plays, and he's a double strike 20k for just 1 energy. That guy is very useful. Then after that, I really fell in love with this card, this Broly. Shout out to Martin, because Martin has shown me how broken this card is. What this card does is whenever your opponent combos with a card, you're able to activate his auto, drop 1 card from your hand, and that card that your opponent combo with goes straight to the drop area. And on top of that, he has a rival, combo a red and a green, 1 red energy. He comes out onto the field and minuses 10k to any of your opponent's battle cards, which could be enough to save your butt from 1 lethal attack. So that guy is super good. And like I said, we need dual color cards, so mulligan hard for this card too. After you chain attack Zen-Oh, this guy's gonna solidify the job, because this guy is a rival. I like playing it during my opponent's turn. I combo a red and a green, and then activate a red and a green card. Red and a green energy comes out onto the field. Next turn, pick up a life. Ideally, you chain attack Zen-Oh once you're at 4, and then once you're at 4, right, chain attack Zen-Oh. Then after you chain attack Zen-Oh, you awaken, you draw 2 cards, you put 1 card under this card, you draw 2 more cards, and then next turn you play this card onto your opponent's during your opponent's turn, and then this guy picks up a life, and he's a dual attack double strike. Too much pressure for your opponent when they only have a little bit of cards in hand after you chain attack Zen-Oh. And then we have our super combo, the best super combo in the game, Paragus. Draw 2, warp 1 card from your hand, 10k boost power. That's all I gotta say. This guy's insane with the green machine. And then we have Shocking Death Ball, very, very powerful. Negate, stops the attack, and KOs a 2 cost or less on your opponent's side of the field. I really, really love that card. And then after that, we got Scientist Fu. After you chain attack Zen-Oh, you will eventually have a lot of cards in your drop zone. Warp all the cards from the drop with 1 energy. This guy comes out with Overwhelm. You draw 2 cards and your opponent has to deal with a double strike. So that is going to be the evil life form Cell. It's really powerful. I've beat a bunch of meta decks, Shenron, Toa, Kid Goku, you name it. This deck has obliterated it. So let it be known in the comment section below what you guys think, what you guys would add, and if you guys want to pop it, get some of the cards in the link in the description. TCG Players right there is usually the cheapest place to get your cards, and like we always say, y'all stay super.